Yo, 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 what is good, everyone? It's your boy, TB, here at SMB, coming at ya. Happy 4th of July. Beautiful day out. I'm inside. I'm gonna be enjoying that shit later. Today, I'm hitting the stonks. We got a big week coming up. Um, we are gonna have a short week, obviously, today being Monday, and it being closed because of you got the 4th, you know. What am I even talking about? Let's look at economic data for this week. I already went over it last week, but I believe we have something big. No, we don't really have much big coming out. Just some employment data, um, unemployment data. So, with that being said, I'm just looking at setups. We got a lot of blood. I'm very interested in the semiconductors this week, namely your boy AMD. I know, guys, I suck at AMD. I will not lie. I won't front and be like, yep, AMD, I'm a king. I rule AMD. AMD usually rules me. But this, guys, this is a good setup. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to be on here tomorrow telling y'all. I told you we were going to bounce right here. So I'm already in calls. I loaded up. AMD has got a money looking setup right now. So we have got AMD. It's been falling in this channel perfectly, and you can see where it stops. So start of the year, obviously we rip down, we just bleed AMD. AMD finds first major support, actual buyers showing up at each support level going down the line. We got to zoom all the way out. We got to zoom way out on this shit. So AMD, what are we doing? We're selling off huge start of the year. Where does it find a major bounce? Where does it bounce hard? Right here, 3 weeks into January. That just so happens to be a major level, a major past support zone at $100. What does it do? It gets a big bounce. We get a huge bounce the next week all the way up to 130. We get a freaking monster 30% bounce. And then once that fails, what's it do? It comes back down, retests, it bounces again. What does it do? Third time, break, dump. It dumps, and it doesn't just dump to any random level. Where does it dump to? Oh, the next past support. No kidding. It dumps all the way down to $84 back here where this was past support. This is where it sold off before and it got a bounce. Buyer stepped up at 84 and it ripped, never looked back. So what did it do? It bounced at that and then it ripped from 84 all the way up to 110, a monster bounce. And now we got to zoom out. We're looking for the next bounce. Where do you think it's going to bounce? Oh, geez. Maybe over here at this key support, this huge support level where it bounced once, twice, thrice, 4 times. And now, I know, I'm looking for a fifth one, but looking at the RSI on the daily, on the 4 hour, shit's oversold as hell. We're oversold on the daily, damn near. We are right at the bottom of this perfect channel. So that's the other thing, is that you connect the dots. Every point on this line is right at past support. Point number 1, past support. Point number 2, past support. Point number 3, past support. And what's it do every time it hits past support? It's gotten a bounce before the next leg lower. And now, this is not me saying AMD is the bottom. This is far from that. I am in late July calls on AMD, $80 price target. Because you can just look at this channel. I mean, it isn't just like a clear, like, boom, up, straight down, straight up. Like, there's choppiness in between. So this could be a rough trade. I'm not saying it's going to be a straight line, but I am saying if you zoom out on the weekly, it looks a lot cleaner. So this could take some time. That's why I got myself some time on these calls. If we bounce like 7% tomorrow, I might take profits on a couple of them. I brought 3 so I could do just that. So I can take profits on 2 and leave runners. But otherwise, I don't know. I really like the setup. Like, this is about as good of a call buying opportunity as I've seen on AMD. I mean, I missed these past ones. If you would have bought one right there, what did it do? It bounced straight up. It always gets these hard bounces once it gets oversold. Right here, this point, oversold, hard bounce. I'm not saying it couldn't go lower, but I'm saying with this trade, it's got my risk and reward built in. So, let's do the daily. 3 years. So I know. Look at where we freaking bounce. This is so perfect. So perfect. Look at that. Just perfect bounce right off of that too. Let's make this nice and green. So you can see right there, we bounce perfectly off that level. Perfectly off of that level. Look at that. Almost to the dot. I mean, like 20 cents off, but bounced perfectly off of that. Um, God, I really need to save this 3 year. What was the low on that? 72.50, and then the low on this one. 72.69. So yeah, so back to what I was saying. My risk and reward is built into this trade. So I know that when we do bounce off the bottom of this channel, of the bottom of this red trend line right here, we typically come up and tap resistance, or at least come very close to it. We bounce, got close to it. Usually we can get close to the 50 moving average on the daily or break it. So my target will be that, which is going to be around like $82 or so over here. That's my reward. My risk is right under this. So I'm risking, if we open up tomorrow under this key support line, um, I might be patient. I know AMD tends to do that where it can get yanked below a level and then that's just a big bear trap and then it bounces hard off of that. I think a lot of shorts are holding until we bounce off that support level and then we could see some short covering slash buying there, which would be huge momentum for AMD, which just, I mean, chip stocks have just been so terribly oversold these past few days. Like, look at AMD. It's just gone straight into the toilet. You can look at the semiconductor ETF. Semiconductor ETF also in the same kind of channel. Also, towards the bottom of that channel, good buying opportunity. Um, but yeah, semis are just in a terrible spot right now. They're just getting oversold to the wazoo. And now Micron's got the same kind of setup. Look at that, Micron in the bottom of this channel. What did it do? Oh my goodness, look at that. From that point, from this past support to that support to that support, where did it bounce? Oh, right off that line. And then where did it bounce? Oh my god, no kidding. Right off that line again, dude. No way. How does that happen? It's almost like the shit works. So, I'm not saying this is a 100% chance, but I am saying I like it a lot. I like the odds of it, and my reward is much greater than my risk. I'm risking maybe like 200 bucks on this reward, upwards of 1,000. You know, I got calls. I got three of them. We're leveraged up. So I have the $80 call July 29th. I'm sitting on three of them, about $740 worth. Um, but I don't know. I'm thinking if tomorrow's like bloody ass red, that is a bear trap fake out. I want to see where the day closes. If we just open below that and just I'm not just going to sell first thing in the morning. I got to see that we actually close below that. If we're going down like 15%, of course I'm going to sell. Like if it's just some terrible, but I don't think there's any chance that AMD just cuts right through this huge support line. Like there's no way. It hasn't done that this entire pullback. Every time it gets to a key support line, it bounces, and then once it goes to retest it, it breaks it. Same with over here. It bounces and then retests and then third test. Even like it's exactly the same thing over here too. I cannot believe that. So the first time, what did it do? It tested it, bounced, tested it, bounced, and then third test break. Over here, key support right at $84. Test, bounce, third test break. What do you think's gonna happen over here? I'm counting on bounce. I think if this was ever as good a pattern for to go long on it, then it just I don't even know what that just meant what I just said. But I'm saying that this is a good setup as I think I'm gonna find on AMD. Um, God, I feel like I'm already half buzzed already or something. My words are coming out all weird today, but I like the setup on AMD a lot. I really do. I know we're in a bear market. I know everyone and their mother just wants to say short AMD. AMD's gonna go straight down. It's gonna and so that's the other thing too is that we do have a gap to fill. We're in the gap actually, just about. So we do have a gap to fill down to $69 or $70 basically. So you got to mind that gap, and this is a huge volume gap too. Like look at the volume over here. There's no volume right here. That means there's going to be a lot of volatility. There's no liquidity at this level. No one was a buyer at this level. It just shot straight through from 50 57 $59 basically all the way up to 75. It cut right through that. Like it was I remember that back back in the summer of 2020, just seeing AMD just go like fucking up like 40% over 2 weeks, like just ridiculous. So being that that is how AMD has acted this entire pullback, I don't see why this time will be any different. I don't think there's going to be enough negative catalysts for AMD to just slice right through this price level. I don't think there are going to be enough sellers to just keep it going. I know it has to bounce. It's at the RSI. It's at the oversold. It's bounced every time it gets here. It's got to bounce. I still think it go low. It will go lower, but I think it will bounce before it retests, bounce again, and then break. So that's what I like about AMD. I have many, many reasons, but then, hey, I'm ready to drop the trade as soon as I got in it. I'm not married to this. I'm going to let the price tell me where it's going to go. If we cut right through this level and go to fill the gap, then I'm out. Then that's just how it is. I'm out, and I'll take my losses. And that's how you got to trade. I have a much higher reward to risk ratio here. That's what it's all about. My reward is all of this. That's my reward, folks. We got the reward right there. My risk is right there. That's it. You can't get much better than that, folks. You just can't get much better than that right there. That's my risk. That's my reward. The middle ground is choppy, but get that a little bigger because my actual risk, I suppose, would be more like that. But that's about as good of a trade as I can take in this market. I think it's a fool's errand to go short right now because I just know we're gonna get. It's never that easy. It's never this easy. Even in a bear market, it's never so easy because you could have gone short right here when you thought AMD was going into the dust. Could have gone short, and what did it do? It bounces all the way to 110, and then you're like, oh shit, I missed it. But you just gotta wait. You gotta be patient. And I know that these fake ass bull rallies just come out of nowhere, but man, I could talk about AMD all day. That's how confident, and I'm almost scared of how confident I am in this trade. So then, otherwise, I'm looking at Amazon still. Amazon still, we still got the head and shoulders on Amazon. The setup hasn't failed yet. I'm glad I took profits on that put last week. Holy shit, because it has gone straight up. I am kicking myself because I was in an Amazon call on Friday, and Amazon did stupid things on Friday. It just went straight up, and I got chopped out of those calls, so that sucked out loud. But Amazon, I am anticipating Amazon. Look at this. Look at this trend line, and look at that fib level right there. So I'm thinking Amazon comes up and taps 112, taps a 111.50 or so before we get the next leg down, before we eventually break through this support line. We could just climb all the way up, tap, break through, and then dump the rest of the way. I still like Amazon overall to the short side. I've given my thesis on Amazon so many times at this point. They are just they employ so many people. They have so many costs due to that. The inflation is just hammering them because of how many people they employ. They spread themselves so thin over COVID, and now they're just getting hammered. They're having 2 Prime Days this year, which that's usually not a good sign when companies are starting to double up on their sales events. That's never good because you saw that with like J.C. Penney and all those shitty retail companies. They start having sales every other week, and it's like, oh shit, maybe they're struggling a little bit. I feel that way about Amazon. See if there's any kind of trend line set up right there. No, not really. But I like Amazon to the downside once we tap 112. I think it taps 112, or it comes up here and taps 111, bounces off of that, dumps the rest of the way. We see well below 100. But right now, it's just in that downtrend, just lower highs, lower lows. We could get a lower high right here. We could tap lower high, get the lower low. But overall, I'm thinking of honestly going short on shares on Amazon. I think Amazon's gonna do some. I think it's gonna get to a level where everyone's like shocked. I think we see like at least $81 on Amazon. Amazon is just in such a shitty spot right now. They are just gonna get destroyed. I know their next earnings are just gonna be terrible. So I'm either banking on we rip through or we dump into earnings and then it gets a rip, or it just kind of goes sideways, or we just completely dump. I don't know. Weird things are going to happen with Amazon, but I like it to the downside a lot. It's still got a long ways to go, in my opinion. It's still way, way overvalued. Same with shit like Tesla. I'm never going to go short on Tesla, though. I'm not that stupid. But Apple too. Apple also. Um, same thing could happen for Apple. Apple, we might come up and tap this support or this resistance line up here, 140 before the next leg lower. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. That's my big play going into tomorrow. I really like Amazon here or AMD. Talking about all the A stocks: Apple, Amazon, AMD. This is one of the best setup trades I've probably taken. And if it fails, it fails. You know, I can't like get so. I know if this fails, I'm just gonna be an emotional wreck. So this is the ultimate test on. I can't let myself get so upset about this because I know that this trade is a good one. I know my risk is super low, my reward's super high, the setup is there, everything's there. There's there's just it's a really nice setup. So I can't beat myself up on this because that's what'll happen if you take the great setups and they don't work out, then the next time you see a great setup, you're always thinking about that last time it didn't work out. When the odds are they do work out. I mean, that's just how it goes. You play in the odds. I like the odds in this, so I can't allow myself to do that. I know I tend to do that because every time I take a good upside trade, usually not every time, but sometimes it only goes up a little bit, and I didn't take like a big enough size, so I wait and wait and wait for more upside when I should have taken profits, or I should have just entered bigger on it because the upside was so short. Like I did that with Qualcomm. Qualcomm had a great falling wedge, and it broke out of it over here. Like we broke out, we got some nice upside. I went up like 4%, but I only got like 90 bucks. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's not enough. I need like 200 bucks out of this trade. But then that's my fault. It's not the market's fault. We're in a bear market, so of course that's not just gonna rip to the upside out of a falling wedge. Like lines on a chart aren't just going to make a stock go straight up. They are going to help you have better conviction and be more convinced, but they're never going to just make the stock go straight up. There are greater factors at play, so I got to remember that. But anyways, I like the trade. Hoping I can be here a week from now and be like, see, AMD's at 90. I told y'all. And if AMD does go to 90, man, these puppies are gonna print. These are about. Let's look at the delta on these. Uh, yeah, 33. So these are going to go up $100 for about every dollar AMD goes up. So you do the math. If we go up to like 90 bucks, these puppies are going to go like 200%, you know. So I like the setup a lot. I don't think it goes straight up to 90. I think it's going to be a choppy shit show. We might just go straight down tomorrow, but I got to stick to my stop loss. This is my stop loss, and that's all I can do. So this is trading in 2022. You know, you see an upside trade, 2 years ago, if I saw this trade to the upside, I'm like all over it. It's like, of course it's going to go straight up. The market's just going straight up. But now this is risky. So, got to keep that in mind. And when you're taking risky trades, you got to have a close stop loss so you don't just kill yourself on it. So, yeah, that's about all I'm looking at. I don't see any reason. I mean, there are other setups out there. I mean, Square kind of has a nice setup. Micron, another one. Micron just had earnings, which were not terrible. It had a super weird day, super strange day on Friday. Like it just sold off hard, but then like recovered all of it and just came up to the gap. So Micron with a big gap to the upside, and it's at support. It bounced right off that support. How about that? Could be another one. So I'm seeing the momentum. That's the other thing with AMD. When you're in a chip stock, you have to look at the other chip stocks. Are the other chip stocks ready to bounce? If they are, then that helps you out a lot. And Nvidia's the same way. It's oversold, just in a pit of despair. Um, so it could bounce off that 200 EMA on the weekly, maybe. Um, what about TSM? TSM probably same thing. Oh my God, dude, TSM. Yep, look at TSM. It's right at support level 2, right there. Look at that, right on that. How about that? So that could bounce too. Same thing. So that's all I got, folks. Y'all have a good 4th of July. I ranted on a little bit longer about this, but I'm just like so excited about AMD this week that I had to. And yeah, this I know this always ages terribly. The more excited I get about a trade, the more likely it just to fucking explode in my face. But hey, man, you gotta take the good setups when you see them. I'm not. You go poor taking bad setups with bad risk management. This is a good setup, good risk management. I'm gonna take it. If it doesn't work, who cares? On to the next. But yep, that's it, folks. See ya.